Well, we're going to see them next on to move on to Pacific. And Matiz doesn't have the same... Well, I think as we actually heard from the qualifiers, Matiz doesn't have a huge amount of naval experience. And indeed, I don't think he'd even seen Pacific before. So I don't know how what he's going to do here, whereas I know that Master does play quite a lot of games with Klops. They will have practiced in these types of maps before. So I have to say that I do rather like the odds of Master taking this one just because of Matiz's unfamiliarity with it.
And we can in fact see, we've been informed by our colleagues across the other side of the Team Exodus eSports booth that Gregorian Monks has in fact won a game against Jaegs on Pacific in bracket A. So that bracket A now sits at 1-1, Jaegs versus Gregorian Monks. So they're now going to start their deciding match to see who is going to go through into bracket E against Killer Kiwi Juice. Will it be Jaegs, the number 2 on the ladder, or will it be Gregorian Monks, our wild card? You'll find out when someone tells us.
If you go to ecstasysports.com as well, you'll find beneath the stream that you can vote for who's going to win this match, whether it's going to be Peg Matiz or whether it's going to be Peg Master. So cast your vote and let us know who you think is going to take this game on Pacific.
And somebody should probably link that in the chat at some point. I mean, somebody from Exodus Esports who might be in the Twitch chat listening into everything we say, just so that people have a convenient way to go and do that. Although you can, of course, watch this live stream from exodusesports.com. The homepage is, in fact, an embedded Twitch viewer with chat right there alongside it. So you can do everything from one place.
And already we see the vote going for a 50-50 split. Matiz taking a slight edge now. Okay, well, I think we're going to get this one underway. I see there's 2/3 of the vote going to Matiz here. A fairly solid way to cast your vote, but yeah.
But on naval maps, though, on naval, that's going to be what throws it, because Matiz has had bad experiences with naval in the past.
Well, I think just lack of experience, but as we've seen in previous King of the Planets, Matiz is a man who adapts very quickly.
Well, it's all to play for then on this. And Matiz is just questioning in the chat now why we're playing on a customized map. What have we done? What have we done to rig it against him?
But of course, if it wasn't rigged against Matiz, where would the fun be?
Right,
yes, we are using a customized version of Pacific because the official one has one of the starting islands has 4 metal points, one of them has only 3. So we are using a fixed version, which gives both islands 3 metal points. Therefore, even and fair, as are we at exodusesports.com.
Oh, always abundantly fair. So here we are. We are on the second of the 3 best of 3 matches, I should think, of bracket number D in the quarterfinals of the finals of. Yeah, this is a very confusing title. of the finals of the Evil Twins tournament. We now have Matiz versus PAG Master, or Neptunio, as some of you may know him, and I am TheWrongCat, and joined by Quitch from esports.com.
It was impressive that you finally managed to wrestle your way through that one to the end, so well done with that.
Thank you.
It sounded like a struggle, but you got there. This man runs a clan, people. But we see Matiz diving straight into the water, and indeed Master doing the exact same thing. Master, though, opting for Bot Factory second versus Matiz going for what is, I suspect, the more familiar air game.
I think Matiz is most likely, I would have thought, to stick to air because, as I say, it's more familiar to him. And actually, the last time I saw him play on this map, air is what killed him. So I think he might be thinking, that which doesn't kill me will make me stronger. So he's going to go.
He's going with what he knows. I think Matiz knows that taking air is an important thing on any map. It's hard to get back into the air game once you've lost it. But on the other hand, naval games, there's a lot of narwhals floating around. It can be easy to get back into the air game than it can be on some of the land maps. And unsurprisingly, Master going for the rather more aggressive opening with the piranhas versus Matiz, who I think we're going to see go for economic start.
I wonder if Neptunio was watching our little game earlier with Burnt Custard, and whether he's picked up on how to wiggle these piranhas.
I think we're going to see some wiggling and some raiding, and he knows that Matiz likes his his early fabbers and his aggressive eco starts. But Matiz sensibly And rather traditionally, escorting the Fabber with a narwhal, so those piranhas are not going to take that Fabber out.
Do you remember those Halicon days back in the Alpha and the Beta where you had the trains, you had the combat fabricator with 2 docks trailing after him with a defense? Oh, those were the days.
This is the TheWrongCat, who's actually in fact a middle-aged man. In case you can clearly pick up on that there. He's got his comfy slippers on. And
I have actually got a very comfortable pair of slippers on right now, I'm not going to lie.
Well, we see the first attempt there by Master to take out that Fabber, unsuccessfully beaten off there by Matiz's narwhal. He's trying to flank round now with his other piranha, but I don't think he's going to find his victims, and indeed Matiz deploying another narwhal to defend his other Fabber. I think maybe Matiz saw that game as well.
I think if I was playing this tournament, I would certainly be watching to see how the players are reacting to the changes on these maps to make sure I've got a good idea of what the top tier players are actually doing with the changes. We now see a little bit of piranha on piranha, and the wiggle wins.
Matiz wiggles with a little support from the commander there, who somehow managed to throw a torpedo over the island.
Well, he's a commander, he can do what he likes, more or less.
There are no rules for the commander. We see though that Master is starting to make some moves with the docks now, running out across the island. He's going to try and come attack the rear of Matiz's island. Good question is going to be whether Matiz is aware that docks are amphibious. He should be, because that's one of the reasons he lost King of the Planet back in the day.
The range on that piranha though, that's just able to completely outstrip those docks. Oh, it's not very accurate though, it has to be said. Not that range, certainly.
I think you'll see with as well with the orcas, they have some issues hitting land units. You'll see that every other shot tends to fly over the head of the thing that we're shooting at. They're not as effective against land units as they are against naval units.
So let's have a little look around at the other side of the planet now. We are seeing some expansion here by Master. I'm going to keep calling it Tunia. I'm sorry, you don't get to be called the Master. I'm sorry. He's continuing some expansion here, escorted aptly by narwhals. Having a little narwhal on narwhal confrontation there, which Matiz is wisely running away from. They're getting some backup now, having a barracuda in support. Of course, the barracudas are submarines, but I believe the narwhals have torpedoes to deal with those.
Well, we see indeed that over on Matiz's starting island that there's some docks there from Master, taking out one of the metal points. Narwhal coming to defend and hope to take out those docks, but a nice pickup there for Master.
Now, one thing I've not seen from Matiz is any use of the tree economy.
No, he has not gone for reclaim.
In fact, he has got nothing on that island whatsoever except a single air factory, which, if I look close enough, is in fact the naval model of the air factory anyway, not the land base. So technically he has a single metal extractor island and nothing else, which is interesting.
Well, the docks from the docks from Master there, always picking a narwhal to kill as well before it retreated. Finally taken out by a bomber, but he's massing up some more docks to make another push. Both players sitting relatively even in economy, and Master taking a unit lead, but that's probably the docks rather than anything else. But right now it's looking very even. Matiz is taking the large island, Neptunio owns a little more of the water, both of them very slowly advancing towards one another.
Well, with naval games that does tend to be the case because of the slow speed of the ships themselves, that the players tend to be fairly static. It does tend to come down to big confrontations, big and decisive confrontations, which are always fun to watch.
We see that Matiz is now raiding around the back of Master's Island, coming in with a piranha and a narwhal, picking off some docks that they ran by, and probably might even be able to pick up that Fabber, but probably just going to pick up metal extractor, I suspect, before he gets pushed away if that commander pushes back there. Well, there's not any forces in that area.
Well,
So
I would like to see some more. I mean, really, he could get in there amongst the energy and take out some of the energy. Energy is very, very valuable.
Well, we see once again that Master is on Matiz's island, taking out metal extractors, taking out energy, and Matiz really still hasn't put up anything to defend against these attacks. I think perhaps just like a single laser or something, or some mines, anything to fool me once. That's shame on you and all that, but fool me twice.
Well, he's say fooled me twice. He's actually he's completely kicked him off his starting island, more or less.
Well, Matiz slowly rebuilding on there, and I think once again starting to take the air. In actual fact, Master being very passive with his air, Matiz has expanded onto this large central island entirely with an air Fabber, and only now is it going to get taken out.
Yeah,
But it should have been taken out quite some time ago.
That's been completely unassisted. There's been no military presence on that island whatsoever.
Yeah, he managed to get dual laser turrets up. So that's a testament to how long it was sitting there for.
Bloody with an air fabber. That's impressive. I get bored trying to watch that, and the fact that he just sat there and let it do it for so long without getting incredibly frustrated and hitting the keyboard is testament, I think, to his patience.
We see both players pushing on different sides. So around the back of their bases, Master is pushing with some narwhals. Around the large ocean section in front of the bases, Matiz is making a rather larger push with some barracudas and orcas.
Once more on Matiz's island, the wiggling docks of death. Desperately trying to take down that last metal extractor. I think they're going to be successful too. Unless that bomber gets in there, he's going to wiggle harder.
No, he's wiggling.
He's wiggling. Oh my goodness me, that shouldn't have happened.
When will Matiz learn?
Matiz,
on the other hand, it's tying up he's tying up his attention. Every time Master does that, is the amount of attention he's spending on that. I mean, Matiz still pulling ahead in economy
somehow.
Because if there's one thing that Matiz is never going to lose on, it's going to be the economy game.
We're now seeing a nice confrontation around the back here between two large naval forces. Looks to me like, again, the orcas not using the full broadside attacks, not making good use of those rear-facing cannons, and the significantly larger force there from Matiz, unfortunately, taken out through bad play on those orcas.
Well, it did a fair amount of damage, but yes, I think he just got too close as well. Better off to just swing by, broadside them, and then just take out far more than your metal's worth.
That now leaves Neptunio with quite a large force and a sizable advantage, I think, in terms of naval presence on this side of the planet, which means Matiz is going to have to really work to defend his expansions around here. Yeah,
Master generally, by the looks of it, going for a mass narwhal approach with a couple of barracudas thrown in, which I think it's going to be reasonably effective against this orca approach. Barracudas take down orcas pretty quickly, and Matiz doesn't have a lot of torpedo presence.
Which means, of course, these submarines are able to really get in there, get stuck in, and do a fair bit of damage.
Yes, even against narwhals, the barracudas will actually trade favourably with narwhals. The best counter to a barracuda tends to be a barracuda, but as they don't have any defense against air, it's what keeps the narwhals relevant in the game.
There we go. We're now seeing a little bit more micro on these orcas now. Matiz trying to make sure they get both of their cannons in play, which is doing well for him in this exchange.
Yep, he is doing much better with this one, putting them on the side, bringing his commander up as well, and the commander torpedoes have convincingly pushed that force back if it engages. And Master having to withdraw there. But still, Matiz now falling substantially behind in terms of eco, although I think part of that is that Master has found a new source for his tree economy, looking from the way that it was hiccuping there. Yeah,
and also what we did see in that exchange there, actually Matiz did lose 2 metal extractors in that little naval confrontation. So Master, although he didn't win the naval confrontation altogether, he was able to do what I think he was aiming to do, which was put pressure on his eco. Looks like those 2 naval fabricators are going to die if anyone can actually land any of their shots as well. That'd be lovely.
But that looks for it. Matiz also losing the air game, but Master not really putting the air layer to work. He's just owning it with hummingbirds. Doesn't look like he wants to do much with bombers there, but he is now taking to tier 2. And that's where the heavy narwhal composition comes in useful. You normally see him probably go for a Leviathan, I suspect, then, because there are narwhals. And the commander of Matiz, really out there. Yeah. Really out there.
That's brave.
I'm not quite sure what he's doing with him.
He's going for a walk.
Apparently. It's not... yes, he's leaving behind the metal fields, and I guess he's going to try and claim those islands. Except he's going to find that Master is already there waiting for him.
We have an interesting development from Game A. It looks like the favourite Yates has in fact been toppled and defeated by Gregorian monks. Yates is out of the running.
I think it says he's winning, isn't it? He's not actually won yet.
Oh no, he's won.
Oh, it's over? Oh,
it's over.
So Gregorian monks, our wildcard at 8th seed in this tournament, has toppled the number 1 seed to progress to the semi-final. So congratulations to Gregorian monks. Clearly those Supreme Commander skills coming in really useful.
Now, what we're seeing here, for some reason, in our game, is these 2 naval forces running away from each other. Interestingly, though, the blue commander is here, so actually this force is running towards the enemy commander, whereas this one is running away from him.
That Matiz knows the commander's there, and he's deciding to try and end the game with his naval force, because Master's naval force is way out of position for defending the commander.
But he's going for the base.
It's going for the base, so this is really... Matiz is putting it all on taking out... I assume that he knows the commander's there, and he's putting it all on taking out the commander. Because he's sacrificing...
Oh, he knows it's there now. He definitely knows it's there now. He's got this little force going in here trying to attack the commander itself.
I think the commander's going to get away, though, and we see that Master bringing in his own navy now from his factories to defend.
I think this could have been a critical mistake by Matiz. He's gone too hard on the chase here.
Yeah,
and now that commander's exposed and on the front line, and there's enough narwhals in there, and barracudas as well. That commander, his torpedoes, good, but not that good.
No, absolutely. I think when the commander's already down...
Wow.
And Matiz has
huge fight.
Matiz has brought the wrong force for this as well.
Matiz's commander does not go at the front line in this. He's going to get tracked with torpedoes. There's one more torpedoes. All it's going to take it. There he goes.
It's over. Yep. That's some terrible mistakes by Matiz there. And
that
especially
was awful.
He was chasing a commander with a naval force which was half orcas, which couldn't shoot the commander in the first place.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there. I think we need to find out afterwards. I'm sure we'll see in the Twitch chat, Matiz is still circulating in there, exactly what it was that he was doing there, because that just seems so uncharacteristically out of position. Well, 1 second.
Now, as WrongCat discovers how to use a mute key, let's just run through this.
It's right. I made good use of it. It's fine. You didn't catch the words of that.
Let's run through this game and just have a quick look at what went on here and why. But it started out strong. He anticipated these piranha attacks. He drove them off with his narwhals, and it looked like he was going to start creeping ahead. But in the end, I think one of the problems that Matiz had was he never ever shut down these docks attacks on his island. He never did anything to stop them.
And he not only did he lose eco to that, he was also wasting, as you said earlier, precious attention, which he should have been using to complement his forces around the planet. But instead, he was just defending really, really pathetic minor attacks at his own base.
Well, yeah, I mean, they was losing. There's three mechs there, so that's what 24 metal income that he kept losing. Metal extractors have been made more expensive this patch as well. They cost you slightly more to replace. So it used to be that it took 22 seconds to repay themselves. It's slightly higher now. So yeah, there's some just terrible mistakes not defending against there. Just dropping a turret, I would have thought, because if you put it on the coast, it can shoot the docks, and the docks can't shoot back. But he pushed over on the large ocean side. And Master was just able to counter because Matiz's eco was all over the place.
It just feels like a cacophony of errors there. Matiz showed, I think, once more his lack of finesse in the naval game. He's very much more suited to stuff that happens on the land. Ships play very differently in PA to ground units in many ways.
Yes, well, they have to be a lot more flexible with your forces on the naval game as well. You've got to keep mixing it up, responding to what your opponent's building. There's a bit more of a rock, paper, scissors thing going on than you see in land, where it's a case of tactically manoeuvring your tank force, as opposed to... But in the naval game, you've got to, if you see them going heavy narwhals, then you've got to get your orcas, bring in the broadsides. If they start going for the barracudas, you've got to bring something in to compensate for that. But this bit at around about, what, the 10-11 minute mark, when his commander went for a walk, it felt like he threw the game. I mean, he wasn't out of the game. It was still reasonably close, and he had a naval force that could have beaten Master back in the centre. I do not know what he was doing.
It doesn't make... maybe he just had... Maybe he got bored. Maybe he wants to go and watch some StarCraft. I can't fathom why he would have done that otherwise.
What a cynical view that was.